I got the whole brief done in 10 minutes.
When did everyone learn all of this?
I am putting you in charge of our AI presentation to the board. 2 months from now, the CEO will be in the room.
Give me 3 variations.
I'll tell you the problem with AI marketing. Credits are super expensive, but your boss or your client doesn't know that. Number two, most AI tools make very fake looking humans. Even if you're using AI for storyboarding, the entire inconsistency with their faces and their outfits will waste a lot of your time. Beginners have terrible taste and vocabulary. So most AI videos have the same aesthetic. All of them look the same, which reduces the audience's trust. And fourth, nobody is learning about hook writing and opening scenes, which are, in my opinion, the most important factors that determine your video's retention. Storytelling is being reduced to a bunch of copy-paste prompts. Now, this entire problem, chaos, this chaos is the reason why most AI professionals are not getting a job or customers. Now, I don't want to teach you just AI tools because you can easily do that on your own with a bunch of other websites. What I want to focus on today is AI augmentation, where you learn how to use your real intelligence, your own taste and judgment to create something new. By the way, I'm super surprised about how most people are so clueless about the new AI agencies and their new pricing models, because you can take so many ideas from how people are selling their videos and even apply to these new agencies, because they are all aggressively looking for fresh talent and you can apply to these companies completely remotely. Now, there are 3 parts to this crash course. In part number 1, I will show you how to combine your own real intelligence with artificial intelligence models to create something cool. Then I will explain 5 major mistakes that can destroy your creative career. Lastly, I will share a list of websites where you can either apply for jobs or take inspiration from their agency model and run your own creative agency. We have partnered with TopView for this crash course because our team couldn't really find similar features in other AI tools available in the market. So I want to tell everybody that these guys here have added dedicated features for character design, for hook writing, for environment design and prop creation. So once you finish this video, you will have a very clear understanding of how agentic AI and diffusion models are changing the media landscape. The problem is that most people are using AI videos for their finish line instead of their baseline. If 50 editors end up using the same diffusion models, the same AI tools, and take their final output as their finish line, nobody is going to hire them because all of their work is going to look identical. AI videos work great when you take their outputs as inspiration and focus a lot more on the topic, the character, the hook, the writing and the core concept. Bragging about how many videos you're making with these diffusion models is almost like holding down the shutter button on your phone and bragging about how many photos you have clicked. You can click thousands of photos, but in the end, you need to decide which ones are worth uploading. Now, this entire process of making something with AI requires a lot of strong understanding of your first principles and your storytelling skills. So I'm going to show you what we have made with TopView right now so that you can see the entire process end to end. Alright folks, so here I am in TopView, and do you know what is the most important thing when you're starting a video like this? It's the core idea. What exactly are you trying to communicate? And I'll show you something really cool. We have created a video with one of their important features around Drama Studio, and the entire process is very, very interesting. So earlier, when you used to go to a platform like a VO3 or a ChatGPT or any of these Seedance models, you had to rely on your own creativity to come up with the script, to come up with the dialogues, the characters, etc. But now in TopView, you can choose between different action types, the style of animation. The entire outline and script is automatically split up into episodes. You can create character charts, so you can introduce different characters on your own, right? So you can completely change the way how your characters look and you can keep that consistent, and you can also lock the environment. So this version was pretty simple. I'll show you how this entire thing looks like, but I want to show you something even cooler. Now, this entire variation was way more realistic, where I wanted to show a real office setting. You have like real people characters. Now notice their entire outfit, their entire clothing. I've basically given them names as well. So I have Suresh sir, Meena, I have Derek, I have a finance colleague, and notice how detailed it is. You can choose their height, their build, their personality. You can add your own voice reference. And then once your characters are done, you can create a proper episode by episode level script. You can choose the different environments. You can add certain prompts if you want certain devices, if you want certain machinery to be added. You have immense control. And I'll show you why this is super interesting. As soon as you add your own script, your own ideas, whatever it is, TopView already gives you access to a bunch of different models. So they have assistant screenwriter, professional screenwriter, and top screenwriter. Do you see this 5x, 3x, 0.5x thing? This is the multiplier of the credits that you will spend. So what we did is we uploaded the entire thing, and then TopView asked me that, okay, you want to make a 3-episode campaign script? How should I adapt? So the first option is faithful adaptation, where TopView says, I am not going to change anything in your document. Then you have AI optimization. So in AI optimization, you basically allow the models to basically change things here and there. But I said, I want you to use faithful adaptation. So then it went through my entire PDF, and I'll show you how that PDF looks like. I'll share this in the description as well, because I think at this point, you don't really need me to show you every single thing. I think I want to deep dive more into how I used my real intelligence while I was using these AI tools. So once we created a good outline, and once I told ki, okay, I want you to basically extract the outline and let's build things episode by episode, it gave me an outline. And then I was able to review the entire thing, and I said, okay, probably we want to have some humor, because the original one looked very, very weird. And then there was one part of the script where AI suggested me something and I felt that it was very, very sloppy. So I said that Arjun will lead that company's new AI task force, right? And there has to be a calendar shot. I want that tension to be built in. So then there was a proper end-to-end process of me brainstorming with AI. It's not that, oh, you just prompt something and you just get something. So I really wanted to show you this entire reality, that it takes a lot of time. But this is where the fun part begins. Once you have decided your characters, once you have added your references, TopView is able to put all of those clips together. So let me play this for you.
I got the whole brief done in 10 minutes. Did not type a single word myself.
That is exactly the kind of thinking we need right now, Priya. Well done.
When did everyone learn all of this?
About 3 months ago, there was a newsletter.
Right? So it's pretty interesting because all of these sentences were followed end to end. Now, can you go ahead and just make this video into a YouTube series? Not really, right? Because this is all your baseline. This is your inspiration. So before you go to shoot, before you do anything, before you spend your real money, you can now create such storyboards end to end. So I'll show you something really cool. Okay, I'm going to play some of these clips.
Arjun, perfect timing. I am putting you in charge of our AI presentation to the board. 2 months from now, the CEO will be in the room. I will forward the calendar invite to the CEO now.
Your name is the
Subject line. Exciting, yes?
So as you can see, there's like a bunch of weird things happening here and there. So we had different variations of this as well. And in the description of the video, I'll basically give you a bunch of documentation so that you can learn these things on your own. But I want to highlight some of the really cool features. Once you have all of your characters ready, there's a references option. So all the characters that you create, you can add them from here. And once you say say Arjun Sharma, I can allocate this specific character to Arjun. And then all I need to do is say that this character is saying this. All of your assets, whether it's your images, your video, all of these things come together in a project board. So you can keep your inspirations in one place, you can keep your ideas in one place, and in your outline and script. Remember the entire part where I told you about the hook and the storytelling thing? They've added this new feature called hook chain. So let's say that episode 1 has a certain story. The question is, why would somebody move on to episode number 2? So these are all the questions that will force you to watch episode number 2. And I thought that this is incredible, right? Imagine if you had to achieve this level of clarity in any other tool, you'd have to prompt so much. A lot of people would not even know what to say and what to ask. But yes, now that you have seen these possibilities, I really want to touch upon an important topic that, folks, the entire media landscape is changing heavily, right? And if you remember the entire problem statement that I shared about chaos, I thought that before I give you the solution to chaos, I need to show you proof that these things are actually that useful, that these things are really, really taking things to the next level. So whether it's a single episode or you want to make a series, this entire AI Drama Studio can help you with the baseline like never before. And let me know in the comment section, right? This is the first time you would see a single platform put together character design, environment design, scripting, hook chaining, scene list, every single thing in one single place. But this is where the story starts. In the next part, I'm going to give you an important reality check on how most of you are going to use this tool. And instead of making your life better, you're probably going to kill your career. So if you don't want to use this tool in the worst way possible, and if you really want to earn money from this, please let's move ahead to the next part of the video. Alright, so now that you have understood how TopView works, I want to take some time to discuss 5 major career mistakes that will completely ruin your creative potential. See, the number one issue is that most editors are confusing visual effects with editing. Folks, making something pretty is about aesthetics of the video, and aesthetics do not make your video successful. True editing is about deciding what stays and what gets deleted. Unfortunately, in the era of cheap video editing courses, in the era of AI tools making amazing title sequences, editors are confusing the importance of visual effects and motion graphics with the importance of having the sense of deciding what will stay and what will not stay. So please make sure that if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you're not just focusing on a bunch of AI tools that can make fancy graphics, you're also understanding what should stay in a video and what should get deleted. Point number 2, editors are still not learning hook writing and psychology. I have worked with so many creative people who do not spend enough time asking themselves, what are people interested in? So they are working hard, they are learning new technology just for the sake of it, because somebody has told them that it is cool. But in the end, why do you make a great video? You make a great video so that it becomes popular. Why would it become popular? When the algorithm pushes it. Why would the algorithm push your video? Because the algorithm is measuring certain metrics. What are those metrics? You have your CTR, you have your AVD. CTR is how many people are clicking on the video. AVD is how much time a viewer spending on your video. And to have high retention, to have high AVD, you need to become great at hook writing. And that is where TopView's hook chain feature came into the picture. It is so interesting to see that AI models can now help you with the baseline draft of how one episode can be connected to the next episode. Because why would somebody watch the second episode unless you give them a strong reason? Point number 3, editors are not building their ability to communicate, to articulate. Editors are not working on their vocabulary, and 90% of the editors that even apply to our organization do not have a portfolio. At this point, I can't even take somebody seriously if they do not have a well-defined portfolio. And it takes very little effort to do this, by the way. You have Framer, you have Odoo, you have so many platforms out there. Once you make a portfolio, you set a super strong impression on what you're good at and your attention to detail. Please make sure that you're focusing on your portfolio and you're writing the correct terminologies, the right key phrases. For example, if you're in short form, on your portfolio, you have to talk about hooks, you have to talk about conversions, you have to talk about saves. If you're doing long form, you have to talk about AVD, you have to talk about how many people are commenting on the YouTube video. These metrics, this shared vocabulary between you and the companies that you're applying to or the clients that you're pitching to will make your sales easy. Mistake number 4, using AI for your finish line and not the baseline. In the past 3 years, we have taught this first principle again and again. Unfortunately, people are becoming slower and dumber as AI tools become better. What you need to do is understand what AI can and cannot do in an end-to-end creative process. So if you're shooting an ad and if you really want to make this ad a huge success, you can't really rely on some AI humans and expect that your ad will do millions. You have to take inspiration from the AI output, help your storyboarding artists to put things together, and then reverse engineer everything that AI has given to you. If you are making a bunch of explorations and you're checking the lighting and you're checking the costume, instead of wasting your time and capital on doing things in the real world, you use AI for that. However, If you want to check what will work in the audience, please don't ask an AI tool on what is trending. Please don't ask an AI tool how to improve your hook writing, because that is so nuanced, it is so human, it is so subjective that it only and only works when you yourself are spending a lot of time doing pattern finding, describing your patterns, practicing them end to end, because you need to be hands-on with your own pattern finding skills. Because if you don't do pattern finding on your own, you will not be able to recognize the right patterns. When you're not able to recognize the right patterns, you cannot define them clearly. And if you cannot define them clearly, there is absolutely no way where you can use AI for incredible results. And mistake number 5, choosing the wrong diffusion models. If you want to make a video which is centered around visuals, maybe go for VO3. If you want to make something that saves time in audio, you go with Seedance. And all of these models are available on TopView right now. So you should never ever end up choosing the wrong model. It's almost like recruiting a cricket player to help you win a swimming championship. You need to hire the right models. You need to have the right intelligence at your side when you're solving a specific problem. So to quickly summarize your 5 core mistakes, a lot of editors are confusing between visual effects and editing. They're not learning how to improve their hook writing and overall understanding of their audiences and their psychology. They're not building a very strong vocabulary or even a portfolio that displays that vocabulary. They're using AI results as their finish line and not the baseline, and they end up choosing the wrong diffusion models. But let's just assume that you have sorted these things out and your first principles are sorted. The question is, how do you get leads? Now you start with building a strong portfolio for a very specific niche. Pick ads or short form if you're starting out, because it's the easiest thing to sell. And build a full stack agency or a full stack proof of work from writing to publishing so that you can charge a higher premium. The real margin in your creative industry are the gaps between these individual services. If you just sell editing, you will have a terrible ceiling to your income. But if you know how to find a trend, how to write it down, how to shoot it, how to edit it, how to add sound to it, how to publish it to the internet, you can earn 5x to 6x, because the real margin is in the gaps. Because if you can provide 5 services through one POC, the customer is saving money. Because if you were not there, the same customer would have to hire 3 different people. So instead of hiring a writer, an editor, and a social media manager at 50,000 rupees each, that person would be happy to give you 1 lakh rupees per month, because you have put an umbrella on all of the resources to get the final outcome. Now, this entire clarity has to be displayed on your portfolio, and we've made multiple videos on how to make a portfolio. But then find the right title. Your title should not be a video editor. It should be a creative strategist or a social media manager, and then target very specific customers. Do not restrict yourself to just video editing. Get a name for your agency, build a website, and then say that our agency can help you write and edit and publish things end to end. Now, this entire framing, this entire positioning as a creative individual has to be done on the right relevant platforms. I'm not talking about all of your Fiverr and all of that basic stuff. You need to be on the platforms where new, fresh talent is thriving. By the way, selling to creators is the easiest. And to get started, you can build a profile on these specific websites. So I'm going to first reveal the most common ones. You have TopTal, you have Juno, and you have Contra. These 3 websites are the best when it comes to premium pricing. The problem is most of you are not going to be eligible, because most of you are not working on your skill set. These 3 platforms are where global talent competes. So if you end up learning just TopView, it's not going to be enough. You need to know the fundamentals of your subject and TopView in order to charge that premium. Let's just say that you're not very good at what you do. You want to start from basic gigs. Start building your profile on ytjobs.co or yt.careers, or even joinroster.co. These 3 are basic platforms. A lot of beginners are earning very decent amount of money here. There are some new subscription-based marketplaces as well, and these new marketplaces are aggressively hiring. So there's Atomic, where international clients are paying a monthly fee. And you can apply to this website as a talent, but again, this platform is less about video and more about other creative domains like social media and websites and UX, but still a great place to be listed as a creative professional. I'll also reveal some new agencies, by the way, that you can consider, either applying to as a remote AI editor, because, they're all looking for talent, and they're looking for talent who understands content, who understands pattern finding and AI tools. So if you take this video seriously, you have so many opportunities that you can apply for. So on top of my mind, 110% Super Site is a great platform, because if you can become really, really good at what you do, these agencies can pay you a lot because they are based abroad. So for them, you're going to be cheap talent. But for you, the income is going to be really, really high, and they have very solid clients. So you can apply to these companies as fresh talent. Let's just say you don't want to apply to any other company. You want to start your own agency. There are so many new, fresh business ideas that you can take inspiration from if you're planning to launch an agency in India. So there is 90 seconds. These people are giving like cloud-based video production. You should 100% check them out. There is VidMob, which is like selling creative services, but with an additional layer of data built on top of it. So they position themselves as a creative agency who focuses a lot on data. And I feel like a simple Gemini deep research is going to tell you the best websites in your domain. Students, at this point, it is not about who knows about an AI tool, who knows about a specific website. It all comes down on who is the best. The race here is about who has the ability to learn things quickly, who has the maximum presence of mind to get things done. If you're able to crack this, nothing can stop you. So I hope that this entire video gave you some understanding of how TopView works. It gave you some understanding of all the problems, the chaos problems that are hampering the potential of AI creativity. You understood where to put your work. We'll list all of the links in the description of this video. And if you share your notes on social media, feel free to tag me. I would love to see your learnings. Let me know in the comment section if there are similar topics you want us to make a video on. We would love to help you out. Do not forget to click on the subscribe button. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your host Ansh Mehra, and you were learning from the Cutting Edge School.